This diorama depicts Arizona on the Hopi Reservation, which was founded in 1882. The reservation lands vary from semi-desert grasslands in the lowlands to pine woodlands at higher elevations. The Hopi are known as farmers who are respectful of the land and its resources. Because of the arid or dry Arizona climate, resources are very different from what is available in Wisconsin. Rainfall only averages 5 to 15 inches per year compared to about 35 inches here in Milwaukee. The dry desert meant natural water springs and reservoirs were very important to grow crops. Wood was a limited resource and used for cooking and heating, but not so much for building. Grasslands helped to support grass-fed sheep and cattle. Sandstone quarries provided building materials. Hot days and cool winters required clothing that is adaptable for the seasons. The Hopi lived in pueblos like this one. A pueblo is similar to a modern-day apartment building. It housed many people of an extended family. When looking at this pueblo, you can tell what resources are available for building. The adobe, which you see on the outside, is a mud mixture with added dried plant material to make it strong. The adobe is spread over walls made of stone or adobe brick. Vicas, or tree trunks, are used to add structure to support the ceilings. In the summer, the thick adobe walls kept the hot sun out and maintained cooler inside temperatures. In the winter, the adobe heats up to keep the pueblo warmer. Some buildings are still made out of adobe today. The Hopi practice what is called dry land farming. Limited water resources led the Hopi to raise plants together in small hills. This made watering multiple plants at once possible. They planted crops of corn, squash, pumpkins, beans, chilies, melons, and onions. Other food included sheep and cattle, which they raised, as well as deer, mountain sheep, and rabbits, which they hunted. The Hopi would gather berries, piñon nuts, and wild potatoes to round out their diet. Corn has always held an important place in the lives of the Hopi. It was the staple of their diet and their most important crop. Throughout generations of raising corn, the Hopi developed a corn plant that was adapted to the desert environment in which they lived. If you look in this window, you can see a young woman grinding corn. The corn would be made into a soup or into a piqui bread, similar to a very thin tortilla. Much of the corn would be dried for longer-term storage, and some of the kernels would be put aside for the next year's planting. Let's look at some of the people in the pueblo. The girl's hair is in a style called a squash blossom whorl. This special hairstyle shows she is of marrying age. Here we see a woman and child cooking. Women were the head of the household within the Hopi tribe. Over here is a man weaving on his loom. The Hopi men have traditionally been great weavers. Wool is dyed, spun, and woven by the Hopi men in the pueblo. The male head of the house wove blankets and rugs, along with the clothing worn by the family. His male relatives would help weave a white wedding dress for any bride coming into the family. Wool not only insulates against cold, but is long-lasting, resists water, dirt, and odors, and keeps you cooler in the summer. It is the perfect fabric for this environment. Today, the Hopi still live in their Arizona reservation lands of almost 2 million acres. Raising cattle and sheep remains a large part of their agriculture. Many continue to follow the traditional ways of planting and harvesting corn, though others have jobs in schools, hospitals, government offices, and so on.